Hello guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to another little expo video of a game that I have been following on Kickstarter. Now this is quite an interesting little title because it controls in a way like no other. The game itself is quite similar in many respects to the older Space Marines game, but there is a bit of a twist. So the game's called Salvaged and it's by a British developer called Opposable Games. And you take control of a crew of 4 whose job it is to board missing spaceships that you have recently rediscovered. And to get on board, kill any aliens you may find, and to recover or salvage the ship's black box. Along the way, you'll also find various other bits of loot and contraband, which you can recover and sell for cash. And what makes this game different to any other is that you don't actually control any of it at all from your PC. I say PC, the game is going to be available on Windows, Linux and Mac, but you control the game from your tablet or your mobile device. So it's going to be compatible with a range of iOS devices, iPads and iPhones, as well as Android devices. Obviously, support for other devices may come along in the future. And that's what makes this game really interesting, in my opinion at least. Now, don't worry, if you don't have a tablet or a smartphone, there are going to be other methods to accommodate everyone who wants to play the game. And that is basically going to be a sort of virtual interface, so you can play the game on a single screen. And it is going to have dual monitor support as well, so you'll be able to use one screen as the interface and the other screen as the monitor for your crew. I have managed to get my hands on the pre-alpha, so this is very, very early. A lot of the stuff in here is placeholder, so it's not representative of the final quality. This is a section kind of from the middle of the game. There's only one ship type. It's pretty much one mission just to show you guys how it works. So let's go over to the iPad, which is the device that I'm currently controlling it with. Now, sorry if it looks like my hand is coming in from a little bit of a strange angle, because it is. I'm just trying to avoid bashing the camera. So as you can see, on the screen, on the main screen, we have a ship that has 4 red dots. Now, those are the 4 entry points, A, B, and C. If I click them in turn on the on my tablet, you can see that each of them gives me the distance to the black box and the chance of running into hostiles. So this sort of vertical slice is kind of mid-game. It wouldn't necessarily be this difficult right at the start, but it certainly is for this little demo. So entry point A, they've got an 86% chance of hostiles and we're 1400 meters from the black box. If we look at entry point B, that's only 850 meters to the black box. So it's actually quite a bit closer and there's less chance of hostiles. If we look at point C, we can see that there's very little chance of hostiles there, only 54% chance, and it's a little bit further away from the black box at 1290 meters. And if we check entry point D, we can see that's probably the furthest away with a 91% chance of hostiles. So the best one for me to take really would either be 54% chance of hostiles at almost 1300 meters, or go 500 meters closer than that for a 79% chance. I think for the purposes of the demo, we are going to go in on entry point C and take our time. Now, I say take our time, there is a time limit, so we will have to be careful and relatively quick. So I'm going to hit the enter button and go into the mission. So what we have 4 crew members, and you can see my 4 crew members on this bottom corner of the iPad. You can also see here where they are in the map. Now, you can see on the map there are these red dots moving around. They're actually the radar blips of the hostile aliens. There's some coming our way, and they're probably about to burst through the door. And as you can see through the helmet cams, the crew has already started to fire at them. Now, I'm going to leave them there for now because there's quite a few guys coming in, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to select some of the guys and actually just move them to a better position on the map. So, you guys will automatically shoot, providing of course they're facing in the right direction and they can see the aliens that are coming through. All of your crew have different weapons, such as shotguns, rifles. We've got a sniper as well, so it's nice to get the sniper lined up through the door. Now, what you do need to be careful with these guys is you do need to keep them sort of facing in the right direction, which you can do by selecting them and dragging in the direction that you want them to face. Now, the game does have permadeath, so if one of your soldiers does die, it is still possible to complete the mission, but if one of your soldiers dies, that's it. They're dead, they're gone, they are finished. Now, there are going to be RPG elements to the game. You will be able to hire new soldiers. You will also be able to buy new equipment for them, to upgrade them, to give them more skills and traits. So the more successful missions they go on, the more you'll be able to upgrade them. So as you can see, I've already actually lost one of my guys right now. It's probably my own fault because I am literally standing in one position. And there appears to be an alien stuck in the door, but this is pre-alpha, so, you know, there you go, it's one of those things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my guys and I'm going to move them around in this direction. Yeah, let me just highlight everybody. Oh. It's a little bit tricky because I'm doing this from a very, very strange angle, but as I said, it's because I'm actually... Oh, looks like the alien is now deciding it's going to come through behind us, so we're going to turn around and face them. Hopefully we can take them all out before we lose any more people. So there are various different types of aliens as well, and the different aliens all have different traits and abilities. So now let's get everybody moving up together. Now, the thing that makes this quite unique is you really have to be monitoring what your crew are doing on the main screen, on your monitors, because that's the only real way you can actually see what is going on. Let's make sure I've got the right people selected. And you need to keep a lookout for various things such as the contraband that you can pick up. And this is where it becomes quite skillful and tricky, because you actually have to watch two screens at once. And you have to be very mindful of where the aliens are and where they're going to come from. So let's move up all my crew. I know there are some more aliens around, so I do want to be very careful of those. Now, when you find the black box, it will have a 6-digit combination. You can see that from this little keypad up here on the right-hand corner of the screen. That's what I will actually use to enter the combination code to get the black box working. So we do have a few aliens coming through this door. I'm just going to leave the guys to fire at these. We already have one signal lost. I think we've now lost a second. So we're actually down 2 members of crew now. I've got to be really careful with what I am doing. So sometimes the crew do get in each other's way, and of course they can't go through walls, so you just move them out of the way of each other. You need to very much keep them facing towards the opening, because that is where the alien... Oh, there's another one coming in through the north door there, so we need to keep our eye on him. Now, again, as I've said several times already, it is pre-alpha, so the AI isn't completely sorted out yet. Obviously, there's a little bit of issues with people trying to shoot through walls and stuff like that, but that is all stuff that will be resolved in the final game, of course. This is just literally to show you guys the way it works. And the way it's been described, and it's quite accurate, really, when you think about it, is it's very similar to those scenes in Aliens, where they're just actually watching the crew. Now, as you can see there, we've got some contraband in front of us, so we can actually just move over that and pick that up and instantly get some cash, which is useful in the sort of the RPG elements of the game. We're going to continue to look around and see if we can find the black box. I'm just going to move this one crew member into this room because it doesn't look like there's any aliens in there. We don't have the black box, unfortunately, but we do have a little bit of a storeroom in here with quite a lot of contraband, which I'm going to attempt to run over. Now, you can zoom the map in and out by pinching and squeezing, just like you would on most tablet devices. So let's keep moving around. Let's see if we can pick the rest of that stuff up. Now, I can see another dot moving towards my other crew member, who I quickly need to turn around to face him. Now, this is the guy with the... I'm not sure whether this is a shotgun or a grenade launcher, so hopefully... Oh, no, we appear to have lost our last guy. Now, at least we have a shotgun, and we are facing in the right direction. Luckily, the alien's a little bit derpy. He's got himself stuck in the doorway, but we may be able to take him out if we get the right angle on him. Will we be able to do it before we die? Yes, we do. So we have survived. Probably a little bit easier now in some respects, because I've only got one guy to keep an eye on. And this guy does appear to have a shotgun. I've currently got no idea where the black box is. Now, there are only a finite number of aliens on the map, so it's quite possible to wipe them all out. Another thing to consider, of course, is that there are different types of ships, so not every ship is going to look the same. But they are all procedurally generated, so every time you come to a different ship, the layout is going to be different. You're not really ever going to see the same one twice. So let's very quickly start... going through some of these doorways. Now, there are a few more aliens around. Now, we've got some more contraband that we found. That what I'm going to do at the moment is I'm going to try and avoid picking that contraband up. And it would be nice to get the loot, but we are against the clock, and we really need to find this black box. So there are some bits and pieces here, but we need to find where that black box is. So let's keep running around. We're down to less than 2 minutes, and it does take a little bit of time to hack the black box once you've got into it. So let's go this way. Haven't seen the black box yet. Now I know there's another alien in this room, so I need to make sure that I face towards it. There it is. We can actually see the alien. There's also quite a bit of stuff around here that we can pick up. Hopefully we'll be able to shoot at that alien. I think it might be just a little bit glitched, but we're going to take some shots at it anyway. Like I said, not going to pick any of this stuff up. I'm probably not going to manage to do this mission. I'm probably going to run out of time, which is a little bit sad, because I'm now down to less than a minute. But we have killed the alien, so I'm going to run through this door. I am kind of backtracking on myself now, and the black box is probably across the other side of the map. So this pre-alpha, of course, it is very feature incomplete. It's literally just this one mission, and it's going to be far more interesting once you have the ability to customize your troops, to give them various different perks, to give them weapons upgrades, to give them armor upgrades, to give them new abilities. Right now, the orders is pretty much as simple as selecting the guys, moving them around, and telling them which direction you want them to face in. The finished game will most likely have more things that you can do with that. Let's just have a quick turn to my left there, because I did see something. That is the black box. Unfortunately, 08 67 47. 08 67 47. Enter. Don't think I'm quite going to have time to do it. I'm not quite close enough to it, and I failed the mission. Wasn't that fantastic? So yeah, if I'd have been a little bit quicker there, I would have actually been able to hack the black box. Doesn't help, of course, that I was commentating a video. It's quite actually difficult to concentrate on talking, to watch on one screen, and to work a tablet from the side. Quite tricky. But I think this is actually quite an interesting game, because there's not many games out there that actually allow you to tether up a pad or a tablet or a smartphone and use that to control the game. And I can imagine this being really interesting if you have a multimedia PC maybe connected to a large screen television in the living room, and you can literally just sit on the couch with your tablet or your phone and control the action remotely from there. And the game is actually quite atmospheric, even in its current state. It is quite scary when you sort of see those red blips on the map moving towards you, and then something bursts through the door and you suddenly see that you lose the signal from one of your men. So this is Salvaged by Opposable Games. They are still going through their Kickstarter campaign. At the time of recording this video, they still have around about 3 weeks left to get their funding. I will put a link to the Kickstarter in the description and an annotation on the screen, as usual. So please go and check out the Kickstarter, read more about the game, read more about the developer, and show them your support. And hopefully I'll be able to continue to bring you guys coverage of this game as it goes through the development process. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.